There's like this enemies to lover aspect. Oh my gosh. Palette? A man who yearns. Like a few little cutie charms. Oh, I love her. We went to the library. We went to like a different one that we normally don't go to. Just kind of like switch things up. But I did find a couple of things that I thought would be really fun to read and kind of just like get me out of this reading slump that I've been in literally since like January. So the first thing is Garlic and the Witch. And I actually checked this out last year, but I didn't get around to reading it. It'll be just like a good time to read that. Super cute. I think it has a lot to do with like anxiety, things like that. I can't remember too much, but I thought that would be really cute. Short little read. And then I also found this Miyazaki book called Shuna's Journey, and it is also a graphic novel as well. And I just love Ghibli, anything related to Ghibli at all, or has Ghibli vibes. Love, love, love. I mean, do you see my posters? And then I also have with me Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I adore Lila Sage. She is one of the only authors that I have gone to see like for one of their tours. Not that I don't want to see other authors, but she's just one of the only ones that like I was like so excited to see and drove a couple hours away to go and see her. I'd love to see more, but I love the cover on this. So gorgeous. This is supposed to be like a spooky western kind of vibe. I think he's an upholsterer. I don't know a ton about it. I've been liking to go into books pretty blind recently, but he's an upholsterer and she is a nature photographer, and some spooky stuff starts going on within the house that it says supernatural forces bring them together. So I also started Recursion today by Blake Crouch. You probably have maybe heard about Dark Matter, which is also by Blake Crouch. It's actually this one. And I did a reading vlog on this one. I want to say if not last year, it was the year before. No, I think I did this over the summer. Last summer, I think, is whenever I read this. And I really, really enjoyed it. It has to do with a lot of like time travel kind of aspects. And so Recursion, I think, also has to do with time travel. Whenever I was reading the reviews for Dark Matter, I saw a lot of people mentioning Recursion and how Dark Matter was like Recursion, but Recursion was better. And so that really kind of like sparked that interest, and I finally got the audiobook Hold on Libby. So I started that last night. I'm only like 3 or 4 chapters in, which is not a lot, but it's something, you know. And then I'm also reading Heavy as the Salt. Heavy Grows the Salt. What is it? The Salt Grows Heavy is what it's called. Which is like a 2.5 hour audiobook, and I am about 25% of the way through. It's very heavy on the prose, and it might be weird to say, but the way... Hi! Oh my god.
Hello, guys.
The way that it reads is really similar to Breeding Sweetgrass in a way, which 2 totally different genres. One is fiction, one is non-fiction, one is like about indigenous stories, but just like the way that the story reads, both in the way that the narrator speaks, and then as well as like the prose of it is really similar. I don't know, is it the cadence of it? I don't know how to explain it. It's about like mermaids and this almost kind of like Frankenstein creature, I think. Not entirely sure what's going on. It kind of just like throws you into the middle of the story, and you kind of have to like scramble to pick up the pieces of what's happening. I can't tell you the plot or premise of it. It's... I don't know what's happening. I can't tell you like all the world building behind it. I know that there is like this mermaid who had her tongue cut out by her ex-husband. And then now she is traveling with this guy she calls him the Plague Doctor, because he wears like a Plague Doctor mask. And there's like this illness, and then they're traveling within the woods, and then they stumble across these boys that are hunting their friend, and they call him the pig. And I guess they, like, all take turns being the pig, and then they kill each other. They hunt and kill the pig, but then they bring the pig back to, like, this guy. I don't know, it's very different, very, I don't want to say weird, but I'm confused. I'm confused about what is happening. But I think that the more I listen, the more that I'll kind of maybe understand, or maybe my two brain cells that are bumping around just kind of like, it's beautiful. The way that the narrator speaks is beautiful, or the way that I can say the narrator speaks. It's beautiful. Golly, it's, I don't know what to say other than that about that book. You, like, really have to be paying attention, because the way that they speak is just very prosy, which I don't mind. It's just, sometimes whenever it's a little bit too much, I have to, like, really concentrate to think about what they're saying. That's just, like, the ADHD. It kind of, like, loses me a little bit, but it's okay. I digress. Those are the things that I'm reading. I am eager to, like, kind of get back into this whole reading thing. I've been reading a lot of webtoons online, but I finished one. It was like 60 something chapters, and then oh my god, I started this show, right? It's so good. So I told you, time travel, really, I fucking love it. I eat that shit up. Love time travel. Doctor Who, big Whovian right here. You're looking at her. I started watching this show called Midnight at Palace, which I know has been kind of like making its round around social media, especially TikTok and stuff. It is a Turkish period drama, but they do like the English voiceovers. And so this journalist, she goes to this hotel called the Palace. So like essentially there are these keys to the rooms, and like there's like some lore around. I guess Agatha Christie went to this hotel and wrote a book in there. I don't remember which book it was, but so she's just kind of like going to get like the scoop on that, and she talks with sort of the hotel caretaker. I don't know what that, hotelier, I don't know what that would be called. And so there's like this mysterious key that was found, and so it's like, oh, can I see the key? And he's like, no. And then he ends up later letting her see the key. She goes to sleep, and then like that key ends up on her nightstand next to her bed, and she thinks that he meant it for her. So she goes to this room, she sits on the bed, and then she transports back in time to 1919. And she goes there, and she doesn't like really think it's real or anything. She just kind of like thinks it's a dream. So she's goofing off, tooting around. She's in her modern clothes, by the way, walking around this ballroom within the time period of 1919. And I started thinking about the whole love story. She sees these British generals and basically like tells them that like, oh yeah, this Turkish general, he's definitely gonna like rise up with the rebellion. You guys should just leave now before, you know, like don't waste your time, just leave, da da da. Basically talking up the Turkish general who is really famous, Mustafa Kemal, who's really famous for like the Turkish rebellion and gained them their freedoms, their independence from the British monarchy. And so her saying that set off like this whole thing of them wanting to then assassinate Mustafa Kemal, and she has to take the place of the person who is going to stop the assassination. So that's like the whole first season is that, and then her also there's like this enemies to lover aspect. So good. Oh my gosh. Halit? A man who yearns. It's so good. And then the whole season 2, there's 2 seasons to it. They're only like 8 episodes each, and I think they're like 30 to 40 minutes per episode. So I mean, I binged this within 2 days. I watched a season a day. And it just completely teleported me into this world, and I loved it so much. I think it has a lot of commentary on like what's going on with today's world and It's just so good. So good. I need recommendations that have like that sort of feeling. I love time travel, period dramas, all that sort of stuff. It just really... I didn't think I was going to fall in love with that show as much as I did. I need season 3. Stat right here in my hands, please and thank you. They haven't even announced season 3 yet, though. I don't know whenever they finished filming season 2. I want to say it was... Season 2 just came out, like... Lord, when did that come out? It was September 12th, 2024. Oh my god, so a year ago? And they still haven't announced a season 3. I really hope that season 3 comes back. I'll be so sad. They really just, like, got to, like, this big point. This man, if he wanted to, he would, ladies. That is, like, him right there. And the way that he just looks at her could make you melt. Could make you melt. Yeah, so that's been, like, my media roundup for the last few weeks. And then listening to really just only Sleep Token is the only thing that I listen to. You're sideways. Hello. Hey, what's up? What's up? We are gonna go to Walgreens super quick because they just emailed me to let me know that my bookmarks for the PR boxes are ready. The women at the library were complimenting my skirt so much. It made me feel so special. And one of the people there were like, oh, it's giving Renaissance. And I'm like, yes, you get the vision. It's kind of like, I didn't intend for it to look Renaissance, but I'm not mad that it's Renaissance. I understand why it looks Renaissance because, like, flowy sleeves, vest, long floral skirt. I'll show you. You'll see. So, like, it's, I wasn't like, hey, I want to be Renaissance today. It just kind of, like, happened. So, yeah. Let's go. Let's see if they turned out. Wow. I could have printed these at home. I was expecting better quality. I could have printed this at home. That's disappointing. I was expecting them. Wow, really? Really, Walgreens? What the fuck? You can't even cut them on the line, bro? I totally could have just did this by myself at home. Why? Why? Literally? How many? Another one? These should just, like, be ready. You can't even cut on the line? You learned how to do that in kindergarten. I'm being a bitch, but honestly, if I'm paying money for something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 20, like, misprinted. And that's not on me. I triple checked my shit. And they're not even, like, great quality. I'm gonna have to laminate these to make them. These are embarrassing. I really expected them. And, like, the edges are all fucked up here. Wow. Damn, and here I thought I was getting a good deal. You cut off the letters on the back Cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off. Cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off. Hella cut off. This is, the fucking word isn't even on there anymore. This is shitty. Walgreens. Okay. I mean, I'll use them because I paid for them, but I definitely could have just done that shit at home. What a waste. Same day. I just got really fucking hot. So, dress it is. So I'm in a little bit of a crafty mood. I don't want to do anything that is too strenuous. I just want a quick little DIY project that's gonna make my life a little bit more cuter without having to put a lot of thought process into it and also just time. I do something that I can do quickly before I get into school with my kids. So yesterday, I'm just like in such a crafty mood lately. Yesterday I made this little keychain out of some random glass beads and embroidery string, ribbon, and just little charms, and I loved that. I ended up hooking it onto, I ended up hooking it onto here for now, just so I have somewhere to put it, and I kind of love the way that it looks. Kind of obsessed. So I don't know if that's where it's gonna live, where it's gonna stay. But it got me in the mood to do something else. And so I've been seeing these cutie little felt DIY keychains. They're like little cats and bunnies and stuff. And so I thought that could be something just really cute to add to either my bag or, yeah, probably my bag, honestly. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know my exact plan. This is like my method of crafting. It's just chaos crafting. I can do a little bit of chaos crafting while listening to some more Recursion on audiobook. I am so intrigued with this book and what's happening. If you listen to, if you've read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, you are really gonna like Recursion. It has a lot to do with second chances and time travel and memories, and that's about all I want to tell you, because you should always, I'm a firm believer that you should go into Blake Crouch's books with little to no knowledge about what it's about. That's so redundant. With little to no knowledge about what is happening in these books, about the plot, because it is just a wild ride and there are so many twists and turns, and I'm having a fantastic time with it. I'm like on such like a time traveling kind of hook between Midnight at Pear Palace and now with Recursion. It is just, it is one of those just genres that I will eat up time and time again. So loving that. There's a lot of like moral dilemmas, moral kind of like right and wrong kind of situations, where if you had the power to change things, should you play God in that way, or should you just let it happen naturally, and the consequences to trying to change things. And I'm loving it so much. I think I have, see, my Libby hold expires in about 4 days, so I really need to get on the ball. But I think I'm almost done with it, actually. I am 75% of the way through, and I am absolutely just eating this shit up. I love it. So I figured, yeah, we can do a little bit of crafting while I finish that. I probably am not going to finish it in this setting, but, just for a little while. And yeah, I'm really trying to kick my habit of doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and everything. I think today is a much needed kind of little breath away from social media. So that's what I'm going to be doing. so crazy because I grew up in the Denver area, and this book takes place in the Denver area, and so like whenever they mention cities like Lakewood and Boulder, especially Lakewood though, is just like really like that's crazy to me, thinking that they're like in one of the towns that I grew up around and in, which is I have family in Lakewood, so like it's just so weird to like think about. They're talking about something about like military airstrikes right now happening all over the U.S. and in Lakewood, and just like imagining that right now, like I'm laughing. It's nervous laughter, but just like because I know it's not real, but also like what the fuck. So yeah, just like wild to experience right now. So I got distracted because my mom called, so I handed off the phone to the kids. This is where we're at. Isn't she just so darling? Oh my god, I love her. Okay, so before I finish sewing her up, I'm gonna put a little bit of stuffing. I hope this is enough. This is literally all I have sitting around. I like, pro tip, polyfill. If you can't find like a bag of polyfill for a good price, you can just like buy a pillow or like a stuffy or something and open that up. I think this is from an old pillow that I wasn't using anymore. So I'm gonna stuff it into her ears, fluff it up a little bit. Honestly, I could probably put a little bit more fluff. Damn. I can try and check my closet, see if I have any, or I can fill it with scraps. I am very much so like a person, I'm gonna use what I have and try and like stretch the coin as much as possible. So let's stuff some of this in here to attach the keychain. Do I want to do, so there's this one, it's studded. I kind of like the studs. This is what it would look like. Or do we do regular, just satiny black, and let the rest talk? Beautiful. And that is what we have so far. I'm thinking, what if we, not this exact one, but what if we add like a few little cutie charms? Do you think that would be, I think that'll be so stinking cute. This little cutie, let me give you it to her. She's super cute. I'm so excited to put her on my bag. This is what she looks like. I'm thinking about getting some like silver embroidery thread and putting stars here. I think that would be super cute. Look at how cute. And then we have a few other little chains on here, little things going on. So we have this little one here, and then this little charm chain with a pearl, a dagger, and a rose. And then we've got this one. Whoops. This one, it's got a star. I love like the browns, the reds, the blacks, the greens, creams, you name it. And then this one here says Nala. And it's got this little dainty kind of like locket heart keychain at the end. But I just think that that's so cute, and she's immediately immediately going to go onto my bag. I love her so much. Adorable. Fucking love. Love, love, love. Let's do that really quick. This is the great thing about, you know, hoarding hobbies or being a hobby hopper is just the amount of like stuff you can just one day decide, hey, I want to make this, and you already have the stuff to do it. That's why like I hate getting rid of like crafty things, because I'm like, what if one day I want to use it? What if one day I want to make something with it? Now look, the little bell. It's a cat. It's gotta have a bell, you know? Cute. Cute! I love her! Let's go put her on my purse. This is my purse. I think that she's gonna fit really nicely on here. And I think, what should I put her here? Oh yeah, that's a really good spot, actually. I could do, can I do up here? Will you fit? You're a little bit too small to fit there. I could do here. I don't want it to like pull down the thing though. Wait, let's see. Oh, she's cute. She's cute. I love that. How stinking cute she is! Oh, I love her! This is something that like I want to make for friends. I want to like customize them to like their own little characters for my friends that like kind of like put their personalities into it. Such a cute gift. So thoughtful. This could be something that you could make for somebody's birthday or for Christmas. And you can personalize it to like their colors that remind you of them, like their personalities kind of through it with like their favorite animal. So fucking cute in the time of trinkets and things. Because like it's fun to buy trinkets like online and stuff, but I love trinkets that have sentimental value to them. Fan is going out of control and it's driving me crazy, but I'm also hot. So, can you hear it? That scares me. Anyways, I don't know what's going on with my hair. I like used a steamer earlier to bring out some of my texture, which you can see. And now like the bangs are just kind of like doing whatever they want. But so it is what it is. It's late at night. I'm not doing anything about it. So I finished Recursion by Blake Crouch, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. I think it's pulling me from my reading slump, which is what I was kind of hoping for. Blake Crouch is very, very good with the sci-fi, especially time traveling It makes it very palatable, very digestible, so you don't have to like sit there and hurt your brain in order to understand kind of like what's going on. And I think that's why he does so well in this genre. So if you're somebody who is new to the sci-fi genre, I really do think that this would be a good read for you. I know I just saw, because I was going on to like his Instagram to go and see any other sort of books that he was working on currently. And I saw that they actually made a Dark Matter TV show, which, like, thinking of it now, I think I had heard something about it. And so I think that I might go and watch that. I'm really interested to see how they kind of turn it from book to screen adaptation. But yeah, without really getting into too much, because I really do think that you should go into this book pretty blind, there is one quote that I was just like, yeah, that's so true. And it is this one. It says, "Life with a cheat code isn't life. Our existence isn't something to be engineered or optimized for the avoidance of pain. That's what it is to be human. The beauty and the pain, each meaningless without the other." And I just thought that was so beautiful. And this book actually like really did bring me to tears. In a few certain points, especially as a parent. Just the thought of, you know, losing a child. That is one thing that like, I guess literally like on the back of the book. In the book we get 2 POVs, and one of them is Barry, and he is just like overcome with this grief from losing his daughter 11 years prior. It's surrounding that within his story, and just like the whole part of like, if I had the chance to go back and prevent that from happening, would I do it? If you don't want to know any more about this book and you just want to like dive in head first with it, then I would recommend stopping here. I do kind of want to talk about a few certain points with it. I'll go into a little bit more detail if that is something that you want. I will kind of avoid major spoilers, like plot twists, I guess. But obviously I want to talk about it. So like, I haven't read a book in a while, so I really do want to chat about this. So I'm giving you a warning now. In 3, 2, 1. We have 2 POVs in this. There is Barry, who is in his 40s, I believe. I think he's like 41. I can't remember his exact age. But he is a detective in New York. And so he ends up getting called to this suicide attempt of this woman. As he's talking with her, they begin talking. She says that she has something called FMS, which is, I think, failed memory syndrome. I'm going to be real honest, I don't remember what the F stands for. I think it's failed memory syndrome. And that's where people sort of get like these flashes of memories. They're called dead memories, where they're kind of like not as colorful. They're desaturated sort of memories, but people just instantaneously remember these lives that they had, children that they had, jobs and partners that they had, that they don't have in their current life. And so like, this is something that can really drive people crazy. It's kind of like having a dream where, I don't know, you dream that you have children, and it could be something that's so just feels so utterly real, and then you wake up and realize it was all a dream. And it's so sad, but just like imagine that amplified, and it plays with your psyche. So it does drive people crazy and into grief, and it will cause them to not want to live within their existence anymore. Barry is very curious and kind of dives further and investigates into that, and ends up stumbling upon time travel. Basically, he can be inserted into his past memories. It can be like a really traumatic event or something that was just like really memorable. It's really important for like the sensations. It just has to be a really, really strong memory, and you can dive back, and your consciousness will die within the present day, but can be sent back into the timeline, and you can change the past. And so Barry does end up stopping the death of his daughter, and then so he lives throughout this entire life of being with her for the next 11 years, and then kind of the consequences from that. And then we have the other POV, which is Helena, and she is actually the scientist who created the chair. And so she has this really moral complex, what is the word I'm looking for? she's just like very morally distraught because she wanted to create this chair in order to help her mother and other people who have Alzheimer's in order to remember and recall memories as they're going through dementia. And the whole thing kind of like gets out of control, kind of like Pandora's box gets opened, and she's just like very concerned about, you know, she finds out that it can send people back in time, and she has this guy that she's working for who is very ominous and very persistent in the creation of the chair and furthering it and getting it in the hands of the public. While meanwhile she says, no, this chair has to be destroyed. We cannot do this. This is playing God. And so in her time, or in her POV, she is trying to figure out a way how to destroy this chair. And then Barry and her end up colliding in their timelines and trying to figure out how to destroy this chair together. And it is just really... it was very well done, very beautiful. A lot of twists and turns. There is some pretty graphic... it's not gory, but there are some parts that could potentially be triggering. And I mean, I'm not terribly so, but there are just some things that, like, it's just kind of uncomfortable to talk about, but those are things that do need to be talked about. It's very philosophical, very just like morally complex, and a kind of situation of like, what would you do? And I really, really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. The more that I talk about it, just realizing that. So I think 5 stars is a good way to go with that one. Yeah, I have not finished Soul Searching. I think I'm about 8 chapters in because I just haven't been able to sit down and really pick it up. But I am enjoying what I'm reading so far. I'll probably continue with that in the next vlog for the upcoming week. I'm not sure what else I'll pick up because I would like to have maybe another audiobook. By the time that you're watching this, Divine Tides has released into the world, and I am freaking out. I'm kind of like disassociating a little bit. I'm like, is this real life? I have not made any of the graphics that I need to for the actual like release day, and I need to give them to my street team, and I've not done any of that. No promotional material whatsoever, so I think I need to work on that tomorrow. I have essentially all the PR boxes made. I'm just waiting for the books to actually go live, so I can do that. I'll talk more about that once the book is actually released. I realize I probably should have had a video ready for that, but I will be doing a for a PR box here on the channel, so if you are interested in that, make sure you stay tuned for that. Divine Tides is releasing October 13th, which is a Monday, I realize. Which my intention was to make it up for a Tuesday, but when I was looking at the calendar wrong, I looked at it wrong. I looked at the wrong month. I just stuck with the 13th. It's no special day, which it works out better that way because I'll be able to give it more attention to like social medias and stuff, because I won't have like my kids' activities and all that. So Divine Tides is on Kindle Unlimited if you want to give it a read over there. I also do have 2 paperback versions that are going live. I have the OG cover with the people on it, which is my personal fave because it's just like months and months of work on it. And then I also have the alternate cover as well. I don't have a copy yet to hold up, but it's right here. It is a little bit more kind of like discreet. I know that some people don't like the people on the covers, so I did an alternate cover, which is a cool thing that Amazon lets you do if you have romance books. So I really, really like this one too. So, I mean, they're both so beautiful in their own unique ways. Divine Tides is a science fantasy romance that essentially, without like giving you like a whole spiel, centuries ago the god of death was sealed off away from the mortal realm. So he was the farrier of souls, and so he was the one who kind of like, after people would die, he would ferry their souls over to the necrosky, and so he was kind of sealed away behind and away from the mortal realm, so none of the souls have been able to cross over, leaving them to fester and rot and torture the remaining living people. It's centuries later, and the rich have obviously found their way to protect themselves, which is through, building these massive walls and just keeping everybody else out. And those who have been left outside of the walls have figured out how to create ships that can fly with either. Story follows Leora. She is on one of the commune ships up in the sky for the last 20 years. She's 29 years old, by the way, so she hasn't been up there her whole life. But for the last 20 years, and basically all that she can remember, she has been up on that ship. But all she has wanted is just to go below and see the world in its utterly raw beauty. And she finally gets that chance whenever the past comes clawing its way onto her ship in the form of Varys. And they have to end up working together in order to restore the balance of life and death. Imagine like Treasure Planet, but make it hot. But also it has like, there's no book that I've ever been to compare it to. But it's like Arcane, Fallout, Skyrim, Princess Bride. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna quit rambling because my brain is just not functioning at this point anymore. I'm just kind of like spewing words out and I don't really know what I'm saying. Like, I'm somewhere back here and I'm just spitting words at you. I don't know what's going on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's always a good time and I have so much fun, and I hope to see you in the next one. Yeah. Have a beautiful day and stay excellent. Bye.